The Travel Bug Girls have partnered with A Little Nitty, a local yarn shop in Milton, Washington, to create some incredible trips that you are going to love. Each trip is designed to check all the boxes for yarn and fiber lovers who want to take their crafting on the road or the high seas. So grab your favorite yarn and get ready to pack your bags. We have Nitty Adventures coming in May, August, and October of 2025. To find out more, visit travelbuggirls.com/nitty-adventures. Welcome to episode 3 of the Travel Bug Girls podcast, packing tips for stress-free travel. You heard that right, folks. We'll tell you exactly how to travel stress-free. Okay, maybe not exactly, but join Cassie, Tina, Heather, and I as we discuss our own favorite packing tips and tricks for traveling as stress-free as possible. Dreading the suitcase showdown before every trip? In this essential episode, we share our tried and true tips and tricks for packing efficiently, effectively, and without the stress. From creating the ultimate packing list and mastering the art of rolling versus folding, to choosing versatile essentials and dealing with those pesky liquid restrictions. We'll equip you with the knowledge to lighten your load and your anxiety. Whether you're a chronic overpacker or a last-minute scrambler, the Travel Bug Girls offer practical advice and clever hacks to help you pack smarter, not harder, so you can focus on the excitement of your upcoming adventures. Say goodbye to suitcase chaos and hello to stress-free travels. Welcome to the Travel Bug Girls podcast, the show where we dive into the world of travel, exploring everything from expert tips and insider secrets to unforgettable destinations and the latest trends. Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or planning your very first adventure, we've got you covered with the advice and inspiration you need to make your travels truly unforgettable. So sit back, relax, and let's take your travel planning to the next level. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of the Travel Bug Girls podcast. We're so glad you're here. Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. I'm here with Heather, Tina, and Cassie, and we are going to bring you an episode that I know everyone needs. Packing tips for stress-free travel. Y'all, you heard it here first. Stress-free travel. We got it for you. We're going to kind of talk about efficient packing, packing light, avoiding common mistakes. Have you ever gotten to your destination and realized you forgot something important, like your charger or a pair of shoes? We have had that happen in my family, and my husband at the time wore a size 16 shoe, so you can't just go out and buy those. So that was a learning opportunity for us and making lists on packing. So yes. I know we have all had to have that last minute Walmart run. Maybe some of these tips that we learned today will help us avoid that in the future. So we're going to start out with the essentials of packing. And Cassie is kind of going to lead us on this. She is our family travel expert. So she knows all about packing for the family. I know moms are usually the family packer. Let's start out. What have you got for us, Cassie?
So I would say my essential family packing travel tip would be take what you know that you need, even if it seems ridiculous. In my family, that's a travel fan. Okay. We all sleep with fans. We have to have a fan. I've tried not to take a fan, and we've had to buy a fan every time we don't take one. So create space for this. Also, things that your family uses regularly. I like to come up with a rough list. I like to start throwing stuff in my bag as the trip is coming up within weeks, and then usually a day or two before, I take everything in my bag out, lay it out, and go over each day what we think the weather is going to be. Do you need to add to this or take away from this outfit? Use all available space. Your shoes have space in them. Use that space.
Okay.
So if your kid has something they sleep with, take it. No matter how you got to take it, if you take the batteries out, take it. Just take it. It will save you a headache in the future. If they have a preference, if you go to Disney and you have to have have goldfish crackers. Disney does not sell goldfish crackers. They sell Mickey-shaped crackers that are cheesy. But if you got a picky eater, that's not going to fly. So and snacks for kids, doesn't matter. Take them.
Snacks for grown-ups.
Yes,
for also
I
grown-ups.
second the snacks. I am a hangry person. So if I get hangry while I'm traveling, it's no good.
Protein bars in my bag every time.
Yeah.
And ultimately, why I think it matters, it saves you time, and time is money.
Mm-hmm.
And who wants to go on their trip and be stressed out because you forgot something important? And if it's in your kids' wheelhouse, something that can't be replaced. So it just to pack efficiently saves you time and energy. As I've said before, we're country people. My family's luggage was store bags for a long time. And my mom would still pack in a garbage bag. If they would let her check that in baggage on the airline, she would throw it in a garbage bag. So I have become the ultimate packer.
Do you have a luggage preference? Like, how do you choose your luggage when you're going on a trip? I would love to hear from anybody. What's your favorite luggage?
I'm an American Tourister girl. I have to have a hard, durable suitcase that my children can sit on, ride on, stand on, use as something to play with when we get there. And I'm a reliable backpack person. We recently went to California, a family of 4. All we took was a carry-on and a backpack each. Okay. So we checked no bag because we were changing flights in Las Vegas, and I didn't want to risk losing our bags. So I like I've got the first bit of American Tourister luggage I ever bought probably 10 years ago. So
I love the zipped up travel cubes. I like playing Tetris with my luggage. When Heather and I went to Atlanta recently, I didn't want to check a bag. I just wanted to have something simple. So I had like a laptop bag. I used one of those packing squares, and I folded everything, just like they do on the TikToks or whatever. I folded everything tiny or rolled, used my shoes to put things inside the shoes because I needed like 3 pairs of shoes for whatever reason. But I still got this all in a small bag. So I love I love those.
And then you never have like the one sweater hanging out that won't quite, because it's contained.
Right, because you're zipping it all up, and then you can put that in the other thing, and it creates so much space. And when I use it in my suitcase when I go on longer travels, I mean, I have so much extra space. It's wonderful.
I am very particular, not about a brand, but because I travel in Europe so much, Europe is a whole different set of challenges than what we're used to here in the US traveling. So you're often carrying whatever luggage you have up several flights of stairs after a long day of flying, or up a very steep hillside in a city with dog poo on the sidewalk. Like there are obstacles to overcome. So the way I have really mastered this is by packing very light. I only take a carry-on. It does not matter how long I'm staying. If I stayed a month in Europe, I would take a carry-on and a personal item, because I would rather do laundry somehow and figure that system out than have to deal with all the luggage and moving it around on and off trains, up and down staircases. I mean, it's a real nightmare. And then the hotel rooms tend to be smaller than what we're used to. So there's also not a lot of room to store it. So if you're the girl that has 3 giant hard case suitcases, you're really struggling across the board from the moment you arrive until the very end. And it can ruin your vacation. And the other thing I do is I always have a crossbody purse that fits into another bag. So when I'm like traveling on the airport, I have like a big, usually like my big leather purse. It's a purse, I guess. I don't know. It's almost luggage. I use it like luggage, but it's a giant leather purse, but my crossbody purse fits inside it. And then once I arrive, I take out that little crossbody, and then that goes with me into the streets to do shopping and touristy things. So that's how I manage it.
Speaking of Tina's packing cubes, I have a country version called a gallon Ziploc bag.
Yes.
And why I like this is when you roll your stuff up in it and you roll the Ziploc bag up and get all the air out of it, it is like a vacuum seal deal. And if you have kids that puke, or my little baby that is dirty constantly for whatever reason, that he has to have 10 outfit changes while we're out somewhere because he's rubbed chocolate down or whatever's going on. He's rolled in the floor of the airport and I just feel like he's covered in germs and need to change his outfit. You can always use those Ziploc bags to put your dirty stuff in. If you have diapers, they're fantastic for diapers, suckers, snacks. You know, you can always tear open one of your Ziploc bags and use it for something else. And at Disney, when we all match, I write on the bags because I coordinate my mom and dad and sister and brother-in-law. So like we have a Stitch day or we have a Epcot day, I write on the Ziploc bag what day one we all wear this outfit. So
Clever.
That's my packing tip is Ziploc bags.
Y'all are clever. I do have something kind of similar to that I use, and that is, and everybody probably has one of these in their house. I don't know where we get them. I don't know how it happens. It comes into our lives. It's a little cinch backpack. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Get it. Somebody gives it to you for free. I don't know, like branded or something. But I have some of these that we've acquired over the years, and we would never carry that as a backpack for somewhere like that. Just, we are sturdy backpack kind of people. But to put your shoes in or your filthy underwear or something that you don't want smelling up or dirtying other things in your suitcase as you travel, that is a great thing. Or wet swimsuits. Our last cruise, we were in the water so much. We had 3 different swimsuits each. And then you're trying so hard not to let that touch everything else. If you don't have time to dry them, throw them in one of those until you can get to a place where you can dry it. That's a great alternative to the Ziploc bags.
Yeah.
But Ziploc bags are great too because they're waterproof.
So how do you guys like pack for your days? Like I do this both ways. Sometimes I pack and I'll like pack a whole outfit together and put it in and then sometimes I put all my shirts together, all my pants together. What do you guys do? What works for y'all?
I think it depends on where I'm going and what the purpose of the travel is. If it's somewhere I've been a bunch and I'm not really Instagramming, I don't want us all to match or whatever, I'll pack that way. But if it's something that I feel I'll put together, like when we went to Las Vegas, we had a deserty outfit and I had put everybody's browns together, and so I packed all of mine and both of my children's clothes in the same thing, so I knew when I got it out that was that day's outfit. But that's Heather. What about you?
Yeah, I kind of do, I don't know, I guess I do kind of like what Kimmie's saying. I do both. It depends on what I'm doing, but like when I'm packing really tight, I pack by outfits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm going to my mother-in-law's for Thanksgiving, I'm going to be there all week. Then I'm just stack of jeans, stack of shirts, whatever, but if I'm traveling Europe and it's got to all fit in one bag and be under 50 pounds, then I'm going to be packing by the outfit and everything's rolled up or folded together so that I can grab out one outfit at a time. And I always pack a laundry bag so that I can be putting the dirties in as I go. And then when I get home, I just pull out the laundry bag.
Yeah. I like a pop-up hamper from the Dollar Tree.
Nice.
It's also takes up zero space and it's nice to not have everybody's socks all over the room.
Nice.
That's a great idea. How do you guys pack for different kinds of trips? Weekend getaway, business travel, outdoor, long-term, like you were talking about in Europe. Like, do you have different ways that you pack for each of those?
The only one that's hard for me is if it's winter. If it's winter or I'm going to a place that I know is going to be cold and I need those bigger, heavier layers, that gets hard because it takes up so much more space, like with sweaters and coats and things. So then it becomes more about, for me, I'm trying to figure out like, what can I carry on the plane with me and not be miserable? Especially if I'm leaving from a warm destination but going to a cold destination. That kind of happened to me when I went from Texas to Ireland earlier this year, and I was looking at the weather and going, oh, it's going to be like 20 degrees colder than I was expecting. And I was going to have to be in the DFW airport hot. So, that's tricky. That's tricky for me. And how do you manage that? Or like if you have to take big boots or something, I don't know. I don't know that I've mastered it, but I usually end up taking the bigger, bulkier things and like carrying them with me onto the plane.
I agree. If I'm taking a heavier or larger pair of shoes, that's the pair of shoes I'm going to wear, and I'm going to pack the lighter shoes. As a thing with kids, I look at planes, trains, automobiles. What are we going to be on? How long are we going to be on? And I have to entertain my children. The baby's not doesn't do screens a lot. I mean, just because it's his preference, not because I have the moral high road on screen. But he likes to play. So I found that in their backpacks, they all carry backpacks. And I let them take 1 to 2 toys from home. And like, I know this is going to sound silly, but I try to theme some things based on where we're going. So if we're going to the beach in the spring, their Easter baskets are going to be beach themed things. And a lot of those things are going to be stuff that you can do on the plane. Sticker books. This past time I took some little Lego sets and put them in some tins, but I glued the bottom piece that the Legos like could sit on so they wouldn't lose them. They could like stick them in that tin. And that kept them busy surprisingly for a long time. And also these little fidgety things, they were some, and I even took a picture of them. They were some sticky men I bought off Temu, and you could put them together and make different designs. Anything that sticks on the window, I've took window clings before, and that is like a good 45 minutes of some independent, I can close my eyes sitting there because they're playing well. Generally, if we're in a car, we have to have more snacks. I don't know why that's the rule, but it just is. But also I think about with little kids, especially my small child, if we're on a plane, I can throw snacks in a bag because I'm sitting beside of them. I can open them. In a car, I do not want to constantly be like, reaching behind me, trying to open something. So I have adopted the Snackle box. I don't know if everybody's seen that on TikTok, Instagram. It's for real and worked. My baby at one point in time asked for his food container on the last trip. So I continued to fill that back up, and he would kind of, feed himself. So that was super helpful. But I generally look, Dollar Tree. If it's Disney, if we're flying to Disney, I get Disney themed, coloring books and things like that. That always makes them super excited for, getting there. We also have some games that are on those little rings that, Would You Rather Disney edition, things like that. They like to do things like the oldest one, he takes a Switch, but he doesn't play it a whole lot. He's usually into whatever his brothers, those sticky men, I'm telling you, they really knocked it out of the park.
I think for me, I try to pack when I'm going on a trip that might be a little bit more beachy, or I'm going to teach yoga somewhere at a resort. My clothes are doing double duty. So as a matter of fact, this dress I'm wearing today is also a cover up when I'm, I can use it as a dress or a cover up. I have a lot of things where I'm only having to wear one thing. So like a pantsuit, that's one thing. Jumpsuit, dress, that's kind of one of my little tips.
That is a great point, Tina. I forgot to say that I also wear a ton of dresses, and that is not to be Instagram worthy, because everybody could look at my feed and know that that's not me, but it takes up so much less space when you're packing. It's easy to decide what to put on in the morning because it's one thing. Am I going to put on this one thing or that one thing? And you don't have to second guess yourself, like, does this really look good together, once you're already there? Because that's the brain I have, that like after I've already decided, then I get there and all of a sudden I hate everything I brought with me. So it's easier when it's only dresses. And then because you never know if you're going to need another layer, I tend to take wraps instead of like like a lot of sweater. Like I know everybody's a hoodie person right now and that's cool, but I like to have a wrap because it can also double as a blanket. It can, it can be a very versatile and it can travel nicely without taking up too much space. So those are the kinds of things. Yeah, I forgot the dressing is a good thing. Girls, jump on the dresses. I know dresses get a bad rap, I think. Especially when it's like loose and flowy and comfortable or like made out of t-shirt material. It just feels like you're wearing pajamas.
Yes. And airflow.
It's so much easier.
Yeah. So let's talk about, in our last few minutes, common packing mistakes to avoid. The first one I had was overpacking, which I have the problem of either I way overpack, or I way under, and it's a struggle. So what other packing mistakes do you guys find yourself doing?
I always leave a hairbrush. We were talking about randomly leaving things earlier. A hairbrush is always something, and like I have a lot of hair. I have to have something to tame this beast in the morning. And the hairbrush is always like, I don't know. It just doesn't make it in there. I don't know. But I think what I see people doing as a mistake, my mom, for example, did this in Gallenberg. So we packed one bag because we drove. And so when we got there, I got all of my clothes out and put them away. She did not. She lived out of her bag. So when we were coming back, her bag had other stuff in it, and we had 27 store bags of dirty clothes that we had to find room for. And I was like, what is in your bag? And she's like, oh, other stuff. And I was like, what other stuff? Like, why is all this dirty laundry I'm pulling out of my car? So I think, number one, not planning ahead. I didn't do that. It was cold, and we were not braced for the cold and how much time I thought we were going to be in the cold. That's happened on several trips. That's been several themes. Because I think, you're just going in, you're going from your warm car into this warm attraction. You shouldn't need a whole lot of layers, but there's a lot more walking then. And so I think just misjudging your weather and what you're taking is a mistake. And I also think not getting this stuff out of your bag, because I've very much been on trips where I've been like, you know what, I'm not unpacking this thing. I'm going to unzip it and put it in the closet, and we're just going to get our stuff out of that. And that always ends up stressing me out. But that's, and I never take enough clothes. I'm a religious underpack. So I always think, well, I'm going to buy a t-shirt from there, and I could just pick up a pair of like black leggings, no big deal.
Yeah.
And then all of my children are short one outfit.
I think one of the biggest mistakes that I've noticed is having the wrong size liquids if you are going to be carrying on. When I was coming back from Cancun, it was a bottle. It was 4 ounces of a contact solution. Just had a little bit left. And I was like, okay, I know it's less than 3 ounces because there's just a little bit left. But the container was 4 ounces. I saw somebody ahead of me. She had probably nice size, 4 ounces, probably 4 ounces over what you were supposed to have for TSA. And she had to throw away some really nice makeup and shampoos and conditioners. Another thing for a mistake for me is, I'll remember a brush or a comb or something, but I don't always bring my own shampoo and conditioner. Usually where I'm going is going to have some. So I usually don't even bother with that. Or if I'm traveling and meeting my sister, I know she'll have some because she will bring hers.
What about you, Heather? You have a confession, your packing mistake confession.
I probably underpack with shoes. I want to only have one pair of shoes if I can. And I might take 2, but then sometimes I get in a situation where I'm like, I should have packed another pair of shoes. Like if there's a lot of different kinds of activities or something, I don't know. I try to plan my outfits so that they all work with the same pair of shoes. But sometimes like when you're adventuring or something, you need like a particular kind of shoe. And then I will have talked myself out of bringing it. And then later I'll be like, this is going to be the worst day because I didn't bring the right shoes. So yeah. Or the weight situation, like your bag's being too heavy. Ooh, that's such a nightmare because you don't find out till you're standing at the counter at the airport. Oh my gosh.
So I got a digital weight off of Amazon. Yeah, a scale. I don't even think it was $10. And we take it because my mom she really packs the bags. I mean, so you have to weigh her bags several times. But yes, we have to do that. We fly a lot of budget airlines, and you're already paying a huge amount to pay for a checked bag in the first place, and then to pay for one that's over. I mean, we could have bought another suitcase and packed it and checked it cheaper than I would have paid for the penalty of having a bag that's too heavy. So
true.
Good point. Last thing real quick before we wrap up. What about luggage locks? Like, do you guys lock your luggage? I know that's a thing. And there's a lot of issues with like TSA breaking locks. What do you guys do? I don't lock mine personally.
I don't lock mine.
Okay.
No. If they want to look in it, they're going to look in it.
Yeah.
And I never
There's
take
nothing you can do
anything
about
in my
that.
luggage I care to loot. Ever.
Yeah, I try not to either. Yeah. If I have something that seems really precious or valuable to me, it is in
My
the
purse.
bag on my shoulder.
Yes.
It is not in my suitcase.
Yes. But I've seen people using these slipcover things that are bright colors. Our luggage is
I want
Disney
one.
luggage. Like I have a Minnie Mouse one that's like polka dotted, and my husband's got this really
You should get a
dorky
Travel Bug Girls one.
Star Wars theme like one. So like when we see our luggage, we know it's our luggage. You know, it's not black, monotone,
Nice.
beige, you know, nothing that everybody else has. So like if I was throwing that out as a tip, do something to your luggage. If it's tying ribbons on it, that's different colors, anything like that. And strollers, do the same thing to strollers. If you're out in a park and if you're in Disney, don't buy a balloon and think that you're going to find your stroller. It's not happening. Everybody else has that exact same thought. That balloon's going to hit you in the face all day long, and you're going to be in a rage by the time the day is over with that stroller. So bring something else to visually. I like to use a lanyard that has, Disney has ones that's like Mickey Mouse's head, and it lights up. And so as it starts getting the edge of dark, you can spot your stroller like halfway across the place because of that light. And those batteries last a long time. I've even seen people get those battery lights from like the Dollar Tree, those fairy lights, and wrap around the handle so they can find. I take a backpack that I leave in my stroller because my kid doesn't necessarily need a diaper bag. We're probably not going to need a stroller a whole lot longer. But at Disney, definitely, there's just so many steps and so much. And even these really, really big airports, like if you got to try to get a 4-year-old through LAX from one end to the other to a terminal, like please just ride. Just get in the stroller and ride. Okay. Yeah. So yes, absolutely.
So, as we wrap up, one last packing tip is always leave a little extra space in your suitcase for your souvenirs, because you know you're going to buy something. You got to leave room for that. And of course, we're going to end with our final question. What destination is on your mind this week? Tina.
Costa Rica.
Okay. Heather.
The Cotswolds.
I don't even know what that is.
It's in England.
Okay. Cassie.
I'm going to go with Washington, D.C.
Mine right now is Universal, because the whole new Epic universe is coming and it looks so cool.
I wish we could all go together. Wouldn't that be fun?
It'd be so fun. Yes. So, listeners, now that you've heard what's on our minds this week, we'd like to know where your mind is traveling today. You can share your answer with us on Facebook under this week's podcast question at facebook.com/travelbuggirls. You can find us on your favorite social media by using @travelbuggirls. Join our VIP group. You'll find us in Facebook groups under TBG Travelbugs or at facebook.com/groups/TBG Travelbugs. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode of the Travel Bug Girls podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It really helps the show grow and allows us to bring you more amazing content. We'd love to connect with you on social media. Find us online at travelbuggirls.com. Until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and safe travels.
Check the show notes for Amazon links to our favorite products that we talked about today. This spring break, choose your own Disney adventure with our very own Travel Bug Girls Disney expert. Whether it's a 3-night cruise to the Bahamas aboard the Disney Wish, a 3-day Disney park experience including resort accommodations and Disney dining, or both, Cassie specializes in crafting custom vacations full of joy, ease, and just the right amount of Mickey-shaped snacks. She takes the stress out of planning, adds a dash of enchantment, and turns every trip into a storybook adventure. Visit TravelBugGirls.com or click the link in our show notes to find out how Travel Bug Girls can make your Disney dreams come true.